We catapulted into 2020 full of faith and purpose with a New Year's sermon series called Waiting for Change because we knew God was calling us into a massive season of change in the year 2020. We thought we were aligning the whole network to one massive goal for the year, planting a new campus of New Life in Waldorf. So we consolidated all of the services in La Plata to the main building, and we launched a sermon series called We Are New Life, a Movement of Faith. We held banquets, people donated generously, and we were scouting for prospective meeting locations until one huge unforeseen change came, COVID-19. And it was spreading everywhere. People around the country and the world started to react. On March 12, 2020, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan made this announcement and everything was closed.
I have enacted an executive order prohibiting any social, community, religious, recreational, or sports gatherings or events of more than 250 people in close proximity at all locations and venues across the state. All planned large gatherings and events must be canceled or postponed.
Suddenly, we couldn't even meet in person at any of our locations. Opening a campus in Waldorf wouldn't be possible for the foreseeable future, and just like that, we had to totally pivot our plans and figure out how to minister to our church family and the community. Now, everything we would have to do would be online. Well, almost everything. We mobilized people to shop for seniors. We started food pantries. We called every congregant in our database to check in. We had weekly drive-through prayer and communion. As for online, literally overnight, we launched 5 talk shows to keep daily video content going to keep our people encouraged and hopefully chuckling. We took our Bible study taught by Pastor Mike called Walk the Line and we made it 100% online. We had live worship and prayer on Facebook every night. We even made it possible for pastoral appointments to be scheduled directly through the website for anyone to connect with a pastor over Zoom for counsel or prayer. Eventually, we consolidated our 5 talk shows into one show called Let's Talk, and we started grappling with theological quandaries, cultural issues, personal leadership, and we even tried to make you laugh. Pastor Mike launched a video teaching series called Heart of a Leader, based upon his book by the same title, and a weekly podcast called Coffee with the Pastor, based upon his series of commentaries. From here on out, it looked like all of our worship services would need to be online, even our Easter service. And they were, until summer approached and restrictions were easing up. But instead of opening the building, we decided to have outdoor services just to be extra safe. Remember pool noodles? Food trucks? Our new normal sermon series? Wasn't that the truth? We even had an outdoor baccalaureate service, but we learned that caps and gowns should not be worn in 90-degree heat. We started selling clothes to support the cost of producing original music, and we were able to sell enough to fund our second EP, Above the Noise, with New Life favorites like Still and You Will Deliver becoming our new anthems of faith, and boy did we need them. We finally reopened, thank God for AC. On Columbus Day weekend, we stood together against racial injustice and encouraged everyone to diversify their dinner tables. Sisterhood 2020 was 100% virtual and a huge success with ladies watching the live stream of the event from their homes. Thanksgiving was different this year, but we encouraged you to set the table for people in our community, and you donated loads of food to make sure no one went without. A group of volunteers even held a Thanksgiving dinner at the church to make sure that no one would be alone. Also, we found out that Pastor Mike can cook, and now we know how to make bananas Foster. Meanwhile, the church gives generously to some of our partners, Sunrise Community Church, World Hope International, and Helping Hands during the holiday season. Christmas Eve services were 100% online for the first time since ever. But watch parties show up strong for the win as people gathered safely in their homes with their families and friends to enjoy the service. But after all of this, a year full of uncertainty, marked by COVID, racial injustice, and political turmoil, as hard as it was, through it all, the New Life family kept watching, sharing, sacrificing, giving, serving, and being the body of Christ on earth. Because of you, the gospel was still embodied and proclaimed, resulting in countless salvations, baptisms, and the advancement of God's kingdom here on earth. Thank you, New Life, for making 2020 a special year.